Welcome! Did you know that the average reading age in the UK is 9 to 11, while the newspaper The Guardian writes at a reading age of 12 to 14? It's no wonder then that most of us will struggle when we start to read academic papers, as they tend to have an average reading age of 18 to 25. However, this session is about how to read in order to write a literature review. We can still help you with other skills such as scanning and scrolling techniques. Just ask about these or check out our Learning Hub page or even follow the links in the presentation. Today's session is all about helping you read with purpose when working on your literature reviews. We'll look at what a literature review actually is, and I'll show you how to read more efficiently, spot useful information quickly, and start to organise what you find. We'll also look at common mistakes students make and how to avoid them. Finally, I'll point you towards resources and support you can use throughout the process. The goal is to help you feel more in control and less overwhelmed by all the reading. Why do we need literature reviews? Aside from the fact that some of your assignments will ask for one, in most cases we are asked to write a literature review not to prove that we've read stuff, but to present the context of the research or question you are exploring. We carry out literature reviews to identify any gaps in the research, so you can perhaps aim to close them with your own work, or else just so you can position your research in the topic area, enabling others to understand it better. Of course, by doing all this, you will also be demonstrating your expertise. In essence, try to think of a literature review as a conversation, because it connects and compares different scholars' ideas, showing how they agree, disagree, or build on each other, rather than just listing what each one said. Remember, you are joining the discussion, not just reporting it. It's more than just understanding what you read and being able to paraphrase it. You need to read actively. This means engaging with the material through questioning, annotating, and summarising in your own words. If you struggle with this, try the S8 session on how to read for some tips and strategies. In your writing then, you must show that you have read critically and not just accepted things on face value. You do this by evaluating the arguments, evidence, and methodologies in the papers you have found, identifying any assumptions, biases, and limitations of the work. Again, this is a skill to be learnt. Our S5 session will help you read more critically and learn how to evaluate what you read in order to understand the why and how of a study. Synthetical reading is what starts to happen when you read your second paper and you begin connecting ideas and identifying themes. Instead of reading each text in isolation, you weave them together, comparing, contrasting, and combining insights to build your own perspective or argument. Think of the theoretical lens as like a pair of glasses a researcher puts on to look at the world. The theory they choose helps shape what they notice, the questions they ask, how they collect data, and even how they explain what they find. When you're reading, try to spot what kind of glasses the author is wearing. I've included a few of the more common theories for each faculty area on this slide, but I am no subject specialist. Your tutors will be able to help you here if they haven't already done so. You might, of course, get lucky and find a research paper where they include a section cleverly entitled The Theoretical Framework or Conceptual Framework. Then the hard work is done for you. But otherwise, when you're reading, try to ask yourself, what theory are they using and how does that shape their take on things? Now we're going to look at some practical ways to read more efficiently. Because let's be honest, you don't have time to read every single paper in full. This is where the triage approach comes in. Just like in an emergency room, you're deciding quickly what needs your attention and what doesn't. First, start by defining your scope. What are your keywords? What's your research question? What are your inclusion and exclusion criteria? It's really important that you know what you're looking for before you start to search. If you're unfamiliar with any of this stage, we have a session that can help you. It's all about identifying your information needs, and there's a link on the screen to it now. Next, always read the abstract first. Ask yourself, Is this article actually useful to me? Does it relate to my topic? And will it help me answer my question? If not, move on. If it does look promising, then skim it. Don't read every word. Just focus on the introduction, conclusion, the section headings, and maybe the first and last sentence of each paragraph. That gives you the shape of the argument. I've mentioned this before, but session S8, How to Read, will go through this in detail for you. Also, check out the citation paths, sometimes referred to as mining or snowballing. It's absolutely gold. If they're citing papers that look useful, follow those links too. You can go backwards to see who they cited and forwards to see who cited them. It's a great way to find more relevant stuff without starting from scratch. And guess what? There's a session on this too, strategic strategies. Let's try this now. Imagine we're looking to explore the relationship between sleep and brain function in undergraduate students in the UK. Use the QR codes to navigate to these papers. Read the abstract, then decide, would you keep reading? Why? Or why not? Pause this recording and spend no more than 3 minutes reading each one. So how did you get on? Paper 1, Gomez, Fonseca and Genzel, Sleep and Academic Performance, Considering Amount, Quality and Timing. I think this offers quite a comprehensive theoretical and empirical overview of how sleep factors impact academic performance, including references to UK and European studies. However, it's not actually an empirical study, and it synthesises global literature rather than focusing on UK undergraduates specifically. What about paper 2, Stores? Sleep disturbance, mental health, well-being and educational impact in UK university students, a mixed method study. This paper directly addresses the link between sleep and academic performance in UK undergraduates, using both quantitative and qualitative data. But it is based on self-report rather than objective sleep measures, and the sample is limited to just 2 universities. Finally, paper 3, Acano. Sleep quality, duration and consistency are associated with better academic performance in college students. This paper provides strong, objective evidence for the link between sleep and academic performance in undergraduates. However, the sample is from the USA and not the UK, so direct applicability to UK undergraduates is limited. So in my opinion, Stores wins. But the others may still have elements we might use. It all depends on how many other papers you can find that might be a better fit. Before we finish then, let's talk about a few classic mistakes that come up when doing a literature review. Chances are you'll recognise at least one of them. How about you open one article, then another, and suddenly you're down a rabbit hole with no idea what you're actually looking for. Familiar? That's what happens when you don't have a clear purpose or research question. Always read with a goal in mind. Know what question it is you're trying to answer. Does your writing say, this paper says this and that paper says that? Are you listing summaries without connecting them? That isn't good enough. Your job, remember, is to analyse, compare and synthesise. Show how the sources relate, not just what they say. Some students feel that they can't start writing their literature review until they've read everything ever written on their topic. The truth is, you never will. It's about reading enough to make a strong, well-supported argument, not chasing perfection. On the flip side, if you keep quoting the same 2 or 3 papers, it might be time to broaden your scope. Look for other perspectives, newer research, or different theoretical angles. Again, your librarians can help you with this, so don't forget those research consultations you can book as one-to-ones. Remember, don't just describe findings, explain why they matter. Always ask yourself, so what? What does this research mean in a bigger context? How does it connect to theories in the field? A big review can feel like too much, and that often leads to doing nothing and putting it off. Instead, break it down into small steps. One paper, one paragraph, 1 hour at a time. Set goals you can actually reach. If you catch yourself falling into any of these pitfalls, don't worry, we all do it at some point. The key is noticing it and getting back on track, or seeking help from someone who can get you back on track, that is. If you've got any questions, especially about your own project, this is a great time to ask. Whether you're unsure about where to start, how to focus your reading, or how to structure your review, feel free to live chat us. The link's on the screen, and it's us and not a robot, or just pop in the library and talk to us. Now, if there's one thing to take away from today, it's this. A literature review isn't just about reading lots of articles. It's about reading actively, critically, and with a clear purpose. You're not just gathering information, you're making sense of it, finding connections, and building a foundation for your own thinking, and that takes practice. Remember, there are some brilliant resources available to help you. Booking a research consultation with a librarian is a great place to start, or to confirm that you're on the right tracks. You can use the QR code on screen to book a time to suit you. The academic guidance team can also support you with structure and writing. An appointment can be booked with them also by using the link on screen. If you want to dig deeper into doing a literature review, well, there are some great guides and readings we can recommend. And finally, just know that it's completely normal to feel a bit lost at the beginning. This is a process. It doesn't come together overnight, but if you stick with it, keep asking questions and give yourself permission to figure it out as you go, you will get there. Be patient with yourself and trust the process. Thanks for listening, and see you soon.